Today we've got two stories that are going to make your blood absolutely boil. First up, a woman who tries to become the perfect 1950s housewife to save her marriage. Gourmet meals, dressing up, the whole 9 yards. And her husband thanks her by calling her, and I quote, a low-value woman. Wait until you hear his reason why. Then, a single dad invites his parents over for dinner. His 10-year-old daughter plays a little song she's been practicing on her keyboard. And what grandma and grandpa do next is so cruel it'll make you see red. Two stories, two families coming apart at the seams. Let's get into it. First up, a woman who decided to call her husband's bluff by becoming the picture-perfect wife he demanded, and got an answer she never saw coming. Hi all. So I have an additional, and probably not very surprising, update to my saga. For context for my first post, my husband was furious that I spent $5,000 on a gaming computer, desk, and chair even though we are high-income earners in a great financial position, and I used my own allotment of fun money within our established rules. And for my second post, my husband told me he was actually upset that he feels I'm not professionally ambitious enough because I'm not on the executive track like he is, and that despite my working full-time, he wanted me to cook fancier meals, set the table in a more elegant way, and dress up more for dinner. Yes, like a 1950s housewife. So, the more I thought about it, the more his requests, demands, really were sitting poorly with me. I decided to try a little experiment over the weekend to see what would happen if I tried to meet some of his demands. Not because I actually thought they were reasonable, but because I increasingly had the sense that the goalposts would just keep moving and that I was playing a losing game. So, Saturday morning, I went to the salon for a glow-up, haircut, fresh highlights, mani/pedi. Then went to the farmer's market to pick up fresh flowers for our table and assorted other gourmet ingredients. Saturday is usually our date night out, but I suggested we stay in so I could make us a special dinner, steakhouse style, lobster bisque, bread basket with several types of rolls/savory muffins made from scratch, crab-stuffed mushrooms, filet mignon, au gratin potatoes, white chocolate mousse topped with raspberries. I wore a lavender, his favorite color, on me, sheath dress and high heels, and fully done hair and makeup. For all that I got a lukewarm thanks, it was tasty, and a kiss on the cheek. Of course I did all the serving and cleanup. Sunday we usually go out, but he suggested I make us brunch at home. So I made French press coffee, mimosas with fresh squeezed orange juice, Belgian waffles with a bananas Foster topping, eggs scrambled with Parmesan and fresh herbs from our garden, roasted fingerling potatoes, and maple glazed bacon. I wore a blue sleeveless sundress, wedge sandals, again did my hair and makeup. Again I got a thanks, it's good, and no help with serving or cleanup. Afterwards, I asked if this is what he had in mind when he critiqued me before. He said that it was a start, but that I was acting very entitled for wanting credit for basic adulting. He then dropped a bomb that he was being so hard on me because he had realized lately I had a lot to make up for due to my being a low-value woman. I asked what on earth he meant by that, and he said it was because I wasn't a virgin when we met. What? Keep in mind we started dating at 21. Neither of us claimed to be virgins or stated that as an expectation. Except for very religious people, neither of us is. I don't think most 21-year-old college students are virgins. I was upfront with him then that I'd had two previous partners, my high school boyfriend. We went our separate ways when we went to different colleges in different parts of the country, and another boyfriend I'd had my first year of college. And that's it, both committed relationships and nothing casual. He then went on to say that because of my low value, I was going to need to be making it up to him for the rest of my life. That I didn't deserve monogamy or equal treatment, and that I was lucky that anyone at all wanted to marry me. And that he's connected with someone from work, so if I wanted to keep him, I'd better step up. I told him it didn't sound like there was anything to keep if he no longer loved me, or even liked or respected me. Told him to leave, and he said he would gladly go to his girlfriend's place. I know so many people here insisted he was having an affair, and I just didn't want to see it, that his complaints were really all part of a campaign to distance himself from me. I feel so foolish for just thinking he was going through a stressful time at work, or that he genuinely wanted to work on our marriage. Anyway, I've taken a week off from work to get my head together. Have an appointment with a lawyer tomorrow. Canceled the marriage counseling appointment, but got a referral to an individual therapist who can do an intake session with me later in the week. He, and the girlfriend apparently, are coming this evening to get more of his clothes and things, so I have to brace myself for that. Also, please be assured I do not think I am low value in any way. I let my husband make me think less of myself on some levels for a short time, but now I truly see it was a him problem. Obviously, we don't share the same goals and values, and he has become someone I don't recognize. I know the divorce won't be fun or easy, but I will be okay. Thank you all for helping me see that I was being played before I wasted too much more time in a marriage that was already over. Let's see what the comments have to say. This person commented, "Holy freak. I knew he was a jerk, but to this level? Low-value woman. God, not the Andrew Tate phrasing, and him expecting everyone to be a virgin is such a weird thing." Another commenter said, "Yes, it seems like he fell down a toxic masculinity hole at some point fairly recently. Retroactively punishing me for not being a virgin at the outset, after a 12-year relationship, including 10 years of marriage, is just completely over the top." The comments did not hold back. They saw right through this guy, calling out the toxic, low-value woman garbage for exactly what it was, and they're firmly on her side here. But what do you think? If a story's ever made you this mad, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel out. Now, back to the chaos. Next up, a single dad who watches his own parents do something so cruel to his 10-year-old daughter that he completely loses it. Throwaway and phone. I had my parents over for dinner this weekend, 60s, and after my daughter, 10, asked if she could play us a song she had been practicing on her keyboard, she gets lessons. It wasn't perfect, few missed notes, a couple pauses, but she did really well. She looked up at the end, massive smile, and I started clapping, and my parents started freaking laughing. Not just a little chuckle, a massive freaking belly laugh. Them both. My mom asked if it was her first time playing it, and my dad said it had to have been. A dog could have played that better. It was like my daughter was shrinking on the spot, and she looked down and said, "No, I've had 2 lessons, but doing it with 2 hands is hard." And they just laughed even freaking harder. I just stood up, took their cups, and said leave. Now, my mom tried to say about, I said, "It's not teaching the real world. They're just nasty little bullies picking on children, and crap like this is why I was so freaked up as kid. Now leave." They got their stuff and left. I sat with my daughter and explained how proud of her I was and how well she was doing. To ignore them. They were just being cruel because they don't know any other way to be, and asked if she could please play it again, which she did. On the Sunday, I messaged and said that until they can behave like decent human beings that we're taking a break away from them. My dad replied that it was my choice, but he didn't realize he raised me to be so precious. Now my lovely brown, nosing golden child of a sister is getting involved. She phoned me today with my parents' version of events telling me I was a nasty piece of work and should never speak to my parents that way. That I'm wrapping my child in cotton wool and blah, blah, blah. I just told her to go freak herself and hung up. I'm not asking if I'm in the wrong for standing up for my daughter. I'll always do that. But I did go pretty 0-100. I kicked them out straight away. I swore at them and in front of my daughter. I did raise my voice at the end when I said leave. I wasn't still angry. I don't think I'd even accept an apology from them at this point. This behavior isn't new. It's decades old. But this is the first time it affected my daughter. Did I go too far? React too much? Should I have tried to be calmer? Talk it out? I didn't know, am I the asshole? Edit. Lots of people think I'm a mom, lol. Nope, single dad. Also, thank you all for your comments. Def calming the anger I felt and making me feel less crap for the way I reacted. Edit 2. I really appreciate all the comments. Even the ones calling me Mama Bear, lol. I never doubted I was in the right for standing up for my daughter. Just how I went about it. I'm gonna sit and talk with my daughter about it all, either tomorrow after school or on the weekend. My parents and sister can just disappear for all I care, RN. To all the commenters that said they wish they had someone like me when they were younger, I get it, man. I really do. I hope you got someone now or are able to be that someone. Reading all these comments changed my anger into sadness/realization that I'm not alone with the crappy parents. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for the comments, guys. Even the trolls, you were great. Also, please stop giving awards. It's a throwaway. Don't waste your money. Edit 3. Really appreciate all the comments and DMS. But my phone's going a bit mad with it all, so I'm gonna delete the account. I'm gonna keep the post up though, because people have posted a bunch of links I'd like to look into this weekend. Thanks all. Let's see what the comments have to say. This person commented, "Your daughter is never going to forget you standing up for her." Another commenter said, "Absolutely correct. She'll see you as an ally in life now. She'll also realize that it's okay to not accept people being awful to you." 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up for your parenting. Yeah, the comments are completely in this dad's corner. They're calling him a hero for standing up for his little girl. Sounds pretty open and shut, but tell me if you disagree. What's your verdict? What would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments. So there you have it. 2 families, 2 messes, and 2 people who finally hit their breaking point. Where did you land on these? Drop your verdicts down in the comments. I read every single one. And tell me which story made you the angriest. I've got plenty more rage-worthy stories coming your way, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss what's next.